How's it guys? So in this video, I will be going over the most important levels for Bitcoin and for most of the other coins that I'm looking at. So I'm going to speak about what's actually happened within the week. And you can see that looking at crypto bubbles at the moment, it's looking very, very bearish, okay? So for me, I will be speaking about the most important levels, also for the dollar, and obviously what's happening within the macroeconomic side of it. So yeah, it will be around about a 10-minute video. It won't be too long. And I will be sharing some setups that I will be looking at within the weekend. So let's first take a look at the weekly coins. So you can see that within the week, most of the altcoins have dropped a lot. And this is mainly due to the dollar actually moving in price. Okay. So the dollar had this level at 100.56. Okay. This was a zone that price was actually bouncing from. And now the next level that I'm looking at for the dollar is 105.03, around about this level over here. So if price taps into this zone, then obviously we will see um, Bitcoin tap into these lower levels at 25K, but I will be speaking about that in just a second. So I first want to go over what's happening in the macroeconomic side of it. So you can see that this whole week there's been talks about, the US state government actually raising the debt ceiling. And if this actually happens, price is actually gonna come down. So, cryptocurrencies and stocks, risk on assets such as stocks and cryptos are gonna actually come down, and that's also a reason why price is obviously looking very bearish. So within this week, we do have to keep in mind that this might happen on the 1st of June. So that's next week. And throughout the weekend, obviously on Saturdays there isn't much volume, but on Sundays we do have a weekly closure, so I will be speaking about that soon. Okay, so I first want to touch on what's happening with Bitcoin. So yesterday I spoke about this key level that price is actually currently sitting at, okay? So you can see that price was trading within this zone over here. So we bounced from the zone multiple times, closed below, retested it, and now we created a new low, okay? So this was the low in the market over here, and now we created a new low right over here. And when you draw your Fibonacci retracement tool from the top to the bottom, you can see that we are currently getting rejected from this key level at 26,500, okay? So this was the level that I was looking at for shorts because that is a typical rejection zone. So we are getting rejected here. So this could be that lower high and price can still come down further. So for me to actually take some sells for Bitcoin, what I'll be looking at is definitely a break below this key level of support here. So if price closes below 26,126 on the 4-hour time frame, then I will be taking sells back down to this key level here. So if I have a look at the daily chart, looking at this key level here at 25K, price normally taps into the zone and we get a bounce. We could actually even extend that down to around about 24,500. That would probably be more better in terms of looking for long. So I will be placing a long position at this level, quite a big long position. So this is something that I will be looking at within the next couple of days. And I'll be targeting these highs. It's around about a 6% move. Your stop loss would have to be quite big, just due to, obviously the concerns in the market and the dollar index rising. So it's also mainly due to what is happening on the dollar index. So with the dollar index, this is obviously looking very, very bullish, right? And it's approaching this key level at 105.1. Okay, so if it reaches this level, we will see a drop in Bitcoin, and that drop could be back down to this level here at 24K. Okay, so that's around about a 5% drop, and that would essentially mean that most of the altcoins would actually drop a lot within the next couple of days. So yeah, if we're looking at this, you can see the week's been very, very bad for most of the coins. And then obviously within the day, we're having a bit of a relief bounce, but it's still looking quite bearish within the day. Most of the well-known coins are looking bearish. And then you see a lot of the altcoins like PLS and HEX, they're all coming up a bit. So yeah, for me at the moment, we're just going to be waiting for a confirmation that if price actually closes below key levels here, I'll be looking for sells. So at the moment, I'm only waiting for sells below 26,126 because once you close below there, if you look to the left here on the 1-hour time frame, there's not much support. Okay, so look over here. This was a resistance. So once we close below here, we're actually coming back into this range. Okay, so we'll be trading now in a new range, whereas price was trading within, this level over here. We are actually forming a new range. So that's where you would want to take sells. You wouldn't want to take sells now. Obviously, it looks bearish, but you need confirmations for those sells to actually occur. So yeah, on the high time frame, looking at this long position for Bitcoin, I do want to speak about a few other coins. For example, Ethereum. Yeah, this is what I was looking at yesterday for ETH. Let's actually take a look at this right now. So I was expecting price yesterday to come back up to this level, that 0.618 zone, and you can see that it actually just tapped into the 0.5 level. So for me to take a sell here, I would want price to close back below this 1803 fib level. So if price closes below this level over here, then you could look at sells back down to the lows. Okay, you could look at something like this where your stops is just above this previous high, and your take profit would be these lows with a decent risk to reward. That's something that I will be looking at on the 4-hour time frame. If you come down to the 1 hour, you would have to break this level here at 1801. So once you break 1801, this would be a valid setup to obviously take within the 1 hour time frame. So because the 4 hour would be bearish, the 1 hour would also take out these lows, and you can take sells based on that. So Ethereum is looking, as bearish as Bitcoin. We had this low in the market, we took out this low, and currently we now just finding this point of control as a resistance. Okay, so yeah, you could look at something like this where it comes and taps into the zone, you take sells there. But for me, I will be just waiting for price to actually close below this key level, because once you close below here, then we will see price come down. Okay, so that's Ethereum. I want to take a look at a few other coins. Yeah, yesterday we took sells for LTC, and I was targeting this low at 82.43. So we took a sell over here, and it came down around about to over here at 83.64, and that was around about a 2% gain. So I told people to take profits at this level. And then obviously we had that pump within this morning, and it's created a new high. So looking at LTC again, if we want to take a better look here, you could actually look at longing from this level over here, just because of what's happening at the moment. But if you're looking on the 4-hour chart, it's still looking bearish. So yeah, we created a new low in the market. This is essentially just a new lower high. Okay, so yeah, I won't be taking any setups there. Let's take a look at a few other coins like Solana, for instance. Solana looks very, very bad here. So looking at Sol, we had this trend line over here. Okay, we tapped into this trend line multiple times, and we've bounced from the zone. Okay, so every time we tapped into this level, we got a bounce. And currently, what's happening now is we're getting a break of this new low. Okay, so if we take a look to the left here, we have a bit of support over here. If we take a look left, yeah, once we close below this key level of support at 1909, it's probably valid to take sells back down to these lows. So Solana could come back down to the 17 range. I mean, this is obviously looking very, very bearish. So once you close below 1909, I would expect price to come down more. So for me to take a sell now, obviously it's looking bearish, but we need to wait for confirmation that it's actually going to occur. Because this could just bounce within the day, right? It can just bounce from this key level. So yeah, at the moment, just waiting for this to play out. Have a look at ARB. I haven't really looked at Arbitrum in a while. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we closed bearish. So we're creating these new lows. And what I would suggest to look at for ARB is maybe a potential sell at this key level here. Okay. I'll be looking at a potential sell if price comes back up to this key level at 1.392, and then you just target these lows. Your stop loss would be above this zone over here, and that would be a very nice setup. One is 2.83, so your risk reward is there. It's fine. I'll go on a lower leverage for this because it's more of a higher time frame play than a lower time frame. Okay, so that's the setup for ARB. very basic, creating new lows. This essentially would just be a higher low, a higher high, a lower high, and that's what you'll be taking. Length, I don't really want to go over length. Well, let's take a look. It's not looking too good though. You would have to break below this key level here. We did take sells below this level around about 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And if it closes below this key level at 6.216, then you want to be targeting 6.044, okay, because that is your new level. Because if you look at link on the daily time frame, this is what has happened, right? We close below this level here, and it's actually broken structure to the downside. So once you close below here, we retest this level, and now it's actually going to look like it's targeting this support at 6.048. So once you get a 4-hour closure below this key level at 6.248, then you could take sells back down to 6.4, and that would be, it's around about a 2%, 3% gain, and your stop loss would only be 1%. So 1:3 risk to reward, which is good. Yeah, I do want to quickly have a look at this chart over here. So this is the total 2, and I was looking at this level yesterday, right? When we have a look on the 4-hour and the daily chart, we actually closed below the zone. So this is also signaling to me that this is bearish, because this was our support and we lost this level on the daily time frame. So when you lose a key level like this on the higher time frame, it's most likely going to be respected, and we should see price come down to these new lows at 533. So if that actually happens, then obviously we will see big drops within the altcoins within today and the weekend. So on the 4-hour time frame, it's essentially just retesting this key support zone. So yeah, this is also why I'm bearish. There's no reason for me to be bullish at this moment in time. We'll take a look at one more coin, and then let's have a look at XRP. Let's have a look here. Let's draw this nicely. XRP pumped actually quite a bit yesterday, back up to these highs. Okay, so if we take a look at this, this is basically a triple top, and with the triple top, you normally see price come down. So on the 1-hour time frame, it would have to, for me to take sells, I would have to wait for price to actually close below this key level here at 0.4591. Okay, so if price closes below here, you want to be targeting these lows at 0.513. Okay, 4513. It's not a great setup in terms of risk to reward, but this is what I'll be looking at. Normally on a triple top, we do get a sell-off. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook within today. There's a lot of other coins that are coming up. If we take a look at the 1 hourly, you can see that it's more on the bullish side than the bearish side. But for me, I'm more bearish within the next couple of days. So yeah, that's pretty much my recap for the week. Just keep an eye on the dollar index. This is essentially what you need to be watching out for. And yeah, if price taps into this zone, I would expect Bitcoin to be at 24,500, 25,000 within that level, and then that's when you can actually take some long positions within the next couple of days. So yeah, thanks again for joining in, and see you guys next week.